I know you're happy that Alan Gross is home and back with his family, but you say the president is making a mistake. What is the mistake?
Well, the mistake has to do with the unilateral concessions to the Cuban government. Let's run through the list of it. Full diplomatic relations, that means the recognition of the Cuban government's legitimacy, the opening up the banking sector, more telecommunications, higher remittances, a whole series of things that truly undermine the sanctions regime that's in place against the Cuban government for being a tyranny. So in exchange for that, what do we get? Here's what the Cuban people get. 53 political prisoners are going to be set free, people that shouldn't even be in jail to begin with. But remember, if they join up the cause of democracy, they'll be right back in jail. And the United Nations has agreed to more closely monitor conditions on the ground in Cuba.
Well,
that's a terrible arrangement for democracy and the Cuban people.
Well, as President Obama says, and it's a factual matter, the embargo has been in place for more than a half century, longer than either one of us has been alive, and the Castro regime is still in power. Why not try something new?
I agree we should try something new. That something new should be to be even more serious about imposing a cost on the Cuban government for being a tyranny. For example, last year, the Cuban government, this has not been well covered, the Cuban government last year helped North Korea try to evade UN sanctions. They had a ship that left Havana with a bunch of banned material that was seized during the Panama Canal. The Cubans were helping the North Korea evade UN sanctions. The United States government did nothing about that. And back in 1996, the Cuban government murdered American citizens that were flying over the Straits of Florida, international waters, trying to help rescue people. We've not indicted the people that have done that. And as far as this argument that nothing's worked, I think people fundamentally misunderstand the purpose of these sanctions today. The purpose of the sanctions today, as opposed to back during the Cold War, is it serves as leverage so that you go to a Cuban government and you say, as the law already does, it's been codified, if you open up democratically, if you start to make real democratic progress in Cuba, the sanctions will go away. That's real leverage, especially with a successor government to the Castro one, when new leadership takes over, which won't be long from now. All of that is virtually gone now for the most part.
What does it say that we have diplomatic relations with China? What does it say that we have diplomatic relations with Vietnam or with Saudi Arabia? Is the Cuban government worse than these other regimes that we have ties to?
No, that's a great point. And let me tell you the differences. Number one, I agree. I was aghast that the president went to China earlier this year and in order not to jeopardize his climate deal that he had signed with them, said nothing about democracy protests in Hong Kong. I was aghast that Hillary Clinton visited there last year and said they weren't going to let human rights get in the way of our relationship with China. I agree. And go further, I would say the reality is that at a certain level, there is a big difference between China and Cuba in the sense that the reality is China is now, by some estimates, the largest economy in the world. They have ICBMs and nuclear weapons. They're trying to dominate the Pacific region. I mean, there's a big difference between that and an island in the Caribbean of 13 million people. So there's some geopolitical realities that we have to deal with. But Cuba's a place that we can make a real difference, a big-time difference. And I think that the fact that the president has done this without anything in return when it comes to democracy is terrible.